Good day, grade 11 students. This is a video tutorial on how to solve a business type service transaction from accounting cycle 1 to 10. And this served as an output in our research study. So, I'm the one who will discuss the step 1 to 5 and my groupmate naman will discuss the step 6 to 10 accounting cycle. So first, basahin muna natin kung ano ba yung accounting cycle 1 to 10. Step 1. Identify the financial transactions. Step 2. Prepare the journal entry. So after mong i-identify yung financial transaction, magpe-prepare ka na ng journal entry. Step 3. Record journal entries in the general ledger. Step 4. Prepare and review the trial balance. Step 5. Make adjusting journal entries. Step 6. Review the adjusted trial balance. Step 7. Produce financial statement. Step 8. Post your closing journal entries. Step 9. Review post-closing trial balance. And Step 10. Record reversing entries if necessary. So, let's come to the problem na. So, ito yung problem na isa-solve namin para sa inyo. So, first, I will read muna the problem. Entity A started operations in 20X1. The following were the transactions for the year ended December 31, 20X1. Number 1, the owner invested 200,000 cash to the business. So, yung owner daw nag-invest ng 200 cash para sa business para madagdagan yung pera niya sa or yung capital niya na igagastusin niya para sa business niya or tulad ng supplies. Next, number 2, the business obtained a 12% one-year bank loan of 300,000 on October 1. Principal and interest are due. Number 3, purchased equipment on November 1, 20X1 for 360 cash. So, bumili daw po yung company ng equipment worth of 360 on cash. Number 4, purchased office supplies worth 80,000 for cash. Bumili ulit ng office supplies yung company ng supplies and it is 80,000. Number 5, rendered service worth 180,000 for cash. Nag-perform ng service yung company, kaya naka-receive siya ng cash. Number 6, rendered service worth 420,000 on account. Nag-perform yung company ng service, pero hindi pa nababayaran, kaya hindi pa nila na-receive yung kita nilang 420,000. Kaya siya on account. Number 7, collected 370 accounts receivable. So number 7 naman, nag-collect si company ng 370,000 dahil na-collect niya na yung mga pautang niya. Number 8, paid utilities expense of 16,000. Number 9, paid salaries expense for 140,000. Yung paid utilities expense sa number 8 is nagbayad siya para dun sa mga utilities na binili niya. And yung number 9, nagbayad naman siya ng salaries dun sa mga worker niya, kaya nabawasan yung cash niya ng 140,000. And number 10, the owner withdrew 100,000 cash from the business. So, let's come to the step 1 and 2 para malaman natin kung paano nire-record yung mga transactions sa journal. Okay, let's start po sa step 1 and step 2. So, step 1, di ba po, we will identify the financial transactions. Kung alin po ba yung debit and credit sa isang account or sa isang transaction. Aalamin muna po natin kung alin po ang i-debit natin and i-credit. Remember na every transactions, meron po tayong i-debit and i-credit. Kaya, lagi pong balance lang yung transactions. So, okay, let's start po sa date. Huwag po natin kakalimutan na ilagay yung date kasi importante po yun para alam mo po kung kailan mo nilagay or ginawa tong transaction na to. So, okay. Debit cash, 200,000 and credit owner's capital, 200,000. So, di ba po, sa number 1, the owner invested 200,000 cash to the business. So, si owner po, nag-invest po siya ng 200,000 cash, kaya natin dinebit cash kasi nadagdagan po yung capital ng company. So, kaya naman po natin pinag-credit si owner's capital, 200,000. Kasi po, yung normal balance ng owner's capital is equity. Nasa credit po siya, kaya i-credit po natin. Okay, so next is number 2, October 1. Debit cash, 36,000 and credit loans payable, 36,000. So po, yung number 2 problem po natin is the business obtained 12% 1-year bank loan of 300,000 on October. So, di ba po, nag-loan po tayo. So, naka-receive po tayo ng 12%. Kaya siya naging 36,000 kasi po, yung na-receive po nating 12%, big times po sa 300,000. So, try nyo nga. Diba? 300,000 times 12% equals 36,000. Kaya yun, naging 36,000. So, debit cash kasi nadagdagan po yung asset natin ng 36,000. And credit loans payable kasi yun po yung normal balance ng credit loans payable is credit. So, next is number 3. Debit equipment, 360,000 and credit cash, 360,000. So, balikan natin yung problem. So, sa number 3, purchase equipment on November 1, 20x1 for 360 cash. So, sabi po dito, nag-purchase po si company ng equipment noong November 1 and yung nagastos niya po is 360,000. So, kaya natin dinebit equipment kasi nadagdagan yung equipment ng company natin. So, kaya naman po, credit cash, 360,000 dahil nabawasan yung cash natin. Nabawasan yung cash natin kasi nga po, bumili tayo ng equipment. Okay, so next, number 4. Debit office supplies, credit cash, 80,000. So, number 4, yung problem niya is purchased office supplies worth 80,000 for cash. So, kaya natin dinebit office supplies dahil nadagdagan yung office supplies natin and kaya naman na po natin pinag-credit yung cash dahil nabawasan yung cash natin and kasi po bumili po tayo ng office supplies kaya nabawasan yung cash natin. So, okay, number 5. Debit cash, 180,000 and credit service revenue, 180,000. So, ano nga po yung problem natin? Okay. Number 5, rendered service worth 180,000 for cash. So, Si company po natin, nag-rendered po siya ng service and it is worth 180,000 for cash. So, debit cash kasi po nadagdagan yung yung cash natin dahil naka-receive po si company ng 180,000. So, kaya natin pinag-debit cash. So, credit service revenue kasi po yung normal balance ng revenue is credit po. Okay, so next. So number 6, debit accounts receivable 420,000 and credit service revenue 420,000. So dahil ni-record po natin siya ng ganito dahil nakalagay po sa problem na nag-rendered ng service si company worth of 420 on account. So ibig sabihin ng on account is hindi pa nababayaran. Kaya imbis cash yung ilagay natin, ang nilagay nating account title is accounts receivable dahil hindi pa nga siya bayad. So, debit accounts receivable kasi po madadagdagan yung money natin or yung asset natin kapag nagbayad na po yung nirenderan natin ng service. So, credit service revenue 420,000. Kasi po, yung normal balance po ng revenue is credit. Okay, so number 6, debit cash 370,000 and credit accounts receivable 370,000. So, kaya po ganito yung nakalagay na transaction kasi po, kung babalikan po natin sa problem, ang nakalagay po doon, collected 370,000 accounts receivable. Nag-collect po si company ng mga pautang niya and yung worth ng pautang niya is 370,000. Kaya po natin siya ni-record ng debit cash 370,000 kasi po nadagdagan na po yung asset natin kasi na-receive na po natin yung money. And yung naman po, yung accounts receivable is debit kasi po na-receive na po yung cash. Okay, so number 8, debit utilities expense 16,000 and credit cash 16,000. So, bakit po ganito? Kasi babalikan po natin ulit yung problem. Ang nakalagay po doon is paid utilities expense of 16,000. Lagi po, di ba po, bago po natin i-record yung transactions, i-analyze po natin. Kaya ko po laging binabalikan yung problem kasi po, yun po, yung explanation para malaman nyo po kung ano yung i-record nyo. Kailangan nyo muna pong i-analyze kung ano pong ginawa ng company. So nagbayad po ng utilities expense si company worth of 16,000. Kaya siya naging utilities expense debit dahil nadagdagan tayo ng utilities expense, nadagdagan si company ng utilities expense. And credit cash kasi nabawasan po tayo ng cash kasi nga po magbayad tayo para dun sa utilities expense. Okay, next is number 9. Debit salaries expense 140,000 and credit cash 140,000. Kaya po natin dinebit si salaries expense kasi po nagbayad po tayo ng salaries sa mga workers or nagbayad si company ng salaries para sa workers niya ng 140,000. And kaya naman po credit cash kasi po nabawasan yung cash niya dahil nga po binayaran niya yung mga workers niya. Next is number 10. Debit drawings withdrawals 100,000 and credit cash 100,000. So, dinebit po natin si drawings or withdrawals kasi po, yung normal balance niya po is debit. Lagi niyo pong tatandaan yung mga normal balance ng mga title or yun nga po, para po hindi po kayo malito. And alam niyo po kung saan sila ilalagay. So, credit cash 100,000 kasi po nabawasan po yung money ni company dahil winidraw po ni owner. So, ayan po yung total ng lahat ng transaction, debit and credit. Dapat po, both po ng debit credit is same po ng amount. Dapat po balance po yan. Kasi po kapag hindi po yan balance, ibig sabihin may mali kang transaction. So, wag din po natin kalimutan yung double rule. Dahil yan po is pinapakita po niyan na yan po yung sagot or yung final answer. Next is step 3. Record journal entries in the general ledger. After natin mag-journal ng mga transactions, babalikan po natin yun and titingnan po natin kung ano po yung mga entries sa cash, sa accounts receivable. So, kapag na-identify po natin kung alin yung mga cash, ilalagay na po natin siya sa general ledger. So, lahat ng cash pagkasama-samahin natin, wag po natin kalimutan yung date. Ilagay po natin yung date, yung amount, and ilagay po natin kung naka-debit siya dun sa pag-record natin ng journal, ilalagay din po natin siya sa debit cash, and kung naka-credit naman po siya, ilalagay po natin siya sa credit cash. So, kapag nilagay niyo na po lahat ng debit and credit cash, i-add po natin siya. And yung after po natin itong i-add, i-minus na po natin siya and yung total niya po ilalagay po natin sa debit side kasi po yun po yung normal balance ng cash. And wag niyo din po kalimutan yung double rule kasi po important po to para malaman na yun po yung total amount or yung final amount ng cash. Next is accounts receivable. Yan po, nilagay po natin ulit yung date and yung amount sa credit and sa debit meron din po. Lahat po yan makikita nyo naman sa step 2 sa pag-record nyo ng mga transactions. Kaya hindi naman po kayo mahihirapan hanapin yung mga amount dahil given naman na po yun dun. So, nilagay po natin siya dito sa debit kasi yun po yung normal balance ng accounts receivable. Okay, next, office supplies, date, amount, 80,000. Wala naman pong tayong pinag-credit. Kaya, i-bring down na lang po natin tong 80,000 dahil wala naman po tayong i-add and i-minus. Okay, so next, equipment, date, amount, wala din po tayong i-add, wala din i-minus, kaya i-bring down na lang po natin ito and yun na po yung magiging total. Lahat po to may double rule, kaya wag niyo pong kakalimutan yung double rule dahil importante po yun. Okay, so next is, dito naman po tayo sa liabilities. Credit loans payable, yung credit loans payable natin na pinag-record is 36,000. Nasa credit lang po. Wala po tayong pinag-debit. Kaya, date and 36,000 amount, i-bring down na lang po natin siya dahil wala naman po tayong i-add, hindi ma-minus. Okay, bring down na lang po kapag wala naman pong i-add and walang i-minus. Dahil yun na po yung final and total nun. Owner's capital, bring down din. Okay, revenue, service revenue, 180,000. and 420,000. I-add na lang po natin to, and okay, wala po tayong i-minus dahil wala naman po tayong amount na nakalagay service revenue na debit. So, yan na po yung total answer niya, 600,000 dahil in-add na lang po natin. Next is drawings withdrawals. Date and amount 100,000 and bring down na lang din 100,000. And next expense, utilities expense. Date 16,000, amount bring down, salaries expense. Date 140,000, bring down na din. Okay, so yun lang po, madadalian lang naman po kayo dito sa step 3 kapag sure po kayo na tama po and balance yung step 1 and step 2 nyo. Okay, so let's come po sa step 4. So step 4, prepare and review the trial balance. So magpe-prepare po tayo ng trial balance sa step 4. Lahat po ng total amount na solve niyo po sa step 3 ay ilalagay po natin dito. 'Di ba po, yung cash natin, kung babalikan po natin dun sa step 3, ang total amount po ng cash is 90,000. So, yan po. Tingnan po natin, yan po, 90,000. Yan na po yung ilalagay natin doon sa cash natin dahil yun po yung total. Okay, next is accounts receivable, debit. Yan din po yung total ng accounts receivable dun sa step 3 natin. Kaya, yun po, parang i-copy-paste nyo na lang po yung mga amount na ito. Okay, so next is office supplies, 80,000 debit. Equipment, debit, 360,000. Credit loans payable, credit, 36,000 of owner's capital, 200,000. Utilities expense, 16,000. Salaries expense, 140,000. Withdrawals, 100,000. And last, service revenue, 600,000. So, lahat po yan, kapag na-record na po natin lahat dito sa unadjusted trial balance, i-add po natin to. And i-add po natin lahat ng debit and lahat ng credit. And para po ma-check kung tama po yung lahat ng ginawa nyo from step 1 to 4, dapat po is balance po yung kalalabasan. Yung total amount ng debit, dapat ganun din po sa credit. Kasi kapag mali po yun, ibig sabihin mali po or nagka-problema po kayo sa step 2. Okay po, sa step 2 and step 3. So yan po, wag po natin kalimutan yung double rule. Lagi po natin yan ilalagay. So ganun po yung pag-prepare ng trial balance. Okay, next po is step 5, make adjusting journal entries. So, note lang po, hindi po lahat ng transactions ay may adjustments. Pero pag meron, ipe-perform pa na step. So, okay. Adjustments, letter A, the equipment has useful life of 5 years. Letter B, 6% of account receivable doubtful of collection. C, unused office supplies on December 31, 20X1 amount to 5,000. So, letter A, yung solution po natin is the equipment has useful life of 5 years. So, dito po, yung given na po itong formula na cost of equipment divide useful life, yan po. 360,000 divide 5 equals 72,000. So, yung equipment daw po is may 5 years life. Ito po ay depreciation expense. Kasi po, binayaran mo na po yung may 5 years life, years. So, debit depreciation expense, 72,000 and credit accumulated depreciation 72,000. So, bakit po 72,000? Dahil po, ito po yung cost of equipment and useful life Yan po is given na po siyang formula. So, yan po, 360,000 divided by 5 is 72,000. Kaya po naging 72,000 yung amount. And dinebit po natin tong depreciation expense kasi po binayaran mo na po yung may 5 years life na item or like kotse or kung ano po, binayaran na po natin kahit hindi pa naman po siya 5 years. Hindi pa natin nagagamit yung 5 years life niyan. And accumulated depreciation, credit po kasi contra asset, kaya i-credit po natin to. Okay, so letter B. Sa letter B na po tayo. Journal entry, debit bad debt expense 3,000 and credit allowance for doubtful accounts 3,000. Ito po is bad debt expense and allowance for doubtful accounts. Pautang po ng company na malabo ng mabayaran pa, yung 6% na pautang. So, pinag-debit bad expense natin siya 3,000 kasi po expense na po siya. Malabo na pong mabayaran kaya parang expense na po yun ng company. So, credit allowance for doubtful accounts 3,000 kasi po yun po nabawasan po yung money natin and yung allowance for doubtful account is yung normal balance niya is contra asset po siya kaya po i-credit natin. Next is letter C is unused office supplies on December 31, 20X1 amount to 5,000. Debit supplies expense 5,000 and credit supplies 5,000. Dito po, ito po yung mga unused supplies na hindi po nagamit or stock na po ng company. Kaya, yung bibilhin niya for next year is, kumbaga, bawas na po ito. Kaya po, medyo konti na lang po yung bibilhin po ni company na stock. Kasi po, may stock pa po siya. Kaya po ganun. So, yun po, yung accounting cycle 1 to 5. So, ito po yung adjusting journal entries po natin. Yan po yung result ng pag-adjust natin. Debit depreciation expense, 72,000. Credit accumulated depreciation, 72,000. Letter B, debit bad debt expense, 3,000. Credit allowance for doubtful accounts, 3,000. Letter C, debit supplies expense, 5,000. And credit supplies, 5,000. Yan po yung adjusting entries natin sa step 5. So, yun po yung step 1 to 5 accounting cycle and yung next step po is step 6 to 10 is i-discuss po ng groupmate ko. So, thank you po for listening.